Hey guys, Kid here for another Tech World Challenge video, and I have one on social networking and RSS and how really joining this whole social community really is going to help you. And this is related because I did a blog post not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, maybe a week or two, on getting in the social loop, getting into the whole social networking, presence, and how about you would go doing that. I want to talk about why it would help you not only in a tech show type era, but in more of like gaining traffic to your site, stuff like that. Just, really not really marketing ways, I don't want to say that, but really just give you a better advantage because, one, you're communicating with other people, which is great, and two, it's going to give you a slight advantage in the whole traffic market and stuff like that. Okay, so let's answer the questions how, why, where, obviously, and I'll talk about it. So first off, let's start with why. Why would you want to join this whole, social networking, you think it'll be a waste of time, whatever. Why you want to do it? Because it's not really, some people may think it's a waste of time. It's not, guys. It's really going to help you pushing out simple status updates, or even maybe posting one out every time you get a new video. It doesn't matter. Which way you want to do it. And the great thing is there's a lot of tools nowadays that can help you do it. A lot of Twitter services, just a lot of services in general. And I'm going to be mentioning Twitter a lot because Twitter right now is more of the, what are you doing? That's what the question is. And it's really one of the bigger social networks out there. There is some like Pounce, Jaiku, Quippy, all those other ones you can look into. FriendFeed's another big one. So FriendFeed's more of a social aggregator, puts them all in one. Okay, so Twitter. How would, why would you want to go about joining that? And really, you would want to go about because think about it. If you get like 200 followers, 300 followers, however many, followers you attract, and followers, what I mean by that is simply when you post an update out to the cloud, out to the site, when somebody, anybody's going to pick that up, whether it be through a desktop, client, through Twitter homepage. If they're following you, it's going to show up. They're going to see what you wrote. They're going to see what you tweeted, whatever. And you have 140 characters or less to do it, so, you get really creative along the way. And if you have 200 followers, for example, your content, maybe a video, maybe a blog post, is going out to 200 people on the fly instantly, right there, right then. So why, I think that's enough to say, why you should do it, because it's really it's a great way not only to communicate with other people out there to get feedback and, just have, fun time chatting over the internet, and make friends, but also follow stuff you're interested, follow people you're interested in. Obama's on Twitter. A lot of people are trying to join Twitter now and realize the power of it. But when it comes to content pushing, bringing traffic to your blog, maybe you're streaming, live streaming, you may get, 20 viewers on the spot depending on how popular you are. You never know. So that's a great reason why to do it. It's really going to bring people right on, right instant, because, again, that's the whole, socially. It's just like the same thing if you went up to somebody and said, hey, I'm doing such and such right now. You're communicating with them. Just now you're just using the power of the web. Now, how would I go about doing it? There's a lot of services you can join, you can choose. I've talked about them in my previous videos in the preseason. There's Twitter, there's Pounce, there's Quippy, Jaiku, FriendFeed, Reja. There's a lot of them. FriendFeed, what it kind of does, it moves all your feeds and networks and social stuff all in one, so you can read it all there. You can follow people across the web all in one site. Now, another way, I want to recommend a service called ping.fm, ping.fm. Really, really awesome service. It lets you post out to all your networks. You just put your username and passwords in for each network, and it's safe. It's a great site. And you post out one status update on ping.fm, shoots it out to 20 different networks, maybe, however many networks you're signed up to, maybe even Facebook statuses, MySpace statuses. So now you're not only reaching just that 200 people on Twitter, but maybe you have 300 on Pounce, 500 on Reja, 300 on, FriendFeed. You're reaching all of those now, not just that one specific category. And it's much easier than, going out to each network and posting it singly or, manually each network. Ping.fm does it all for you. So there's a lot of ways on how to go about and do it. There's even services on Twitter. There's a lot. I'm going to talk about one in particular, Twitter feed. Twitter feed, it takes an RSS feed. So if you have an RSS feed, which many of you do, whether it be YouTube or whatever, a podcast, for example. Let's say you get your podcast as RSS feed. You put it on Twitter feed. You tell it to check the RSS maybe every hour, maybe every day, whatever it may be. It checks. When it finds a new update, you can add a prefix. So you can say, hey, check out this, and then what it'll do after the prefix, it will put in your link. So every hour, Twitter feed will check for it. You put your username and Twitter password in. and it goes out. If it finds something within the hour or whatever time you set it to, it'll post it out to Twitter to your followers automatically for you whenever, you can be sleeping, and it'll do it for you. So that's the great thing about, these tools that there are for Twitter. There's Twitter, you can search for people on Twitter. You can search what people are talking about, how popular it is. You can take Twitter polls. It's really, really, there's a lot of sites, and I'll try and compile a whole list and give you guys a link to a blog post. So stay tuned. Make sure you read adrianstech.com and weurl.com/TWC, actually. I'll stick it up on the TWC blog of cool links to Twitter, sites. Now where? And then, again, that's really up to you. Where you want to go, wherever you want to do. It's up to you. Maybe you don't like Twitter. Who knows? You may want to check out another network. That's totally up to you. You can find me on a lot of them. My username is KidGuru. Mainly I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/KidGuru. And as usual, I'm always talking about tools. Like I mentioned, ping.fm. There's other desktop tools like Twirl, TWHIRL, or you can check out Twitterific on the Mac. They also have Twirl on the Mac too, but it's an Adobe Air app, and they're just simply, instead of going to twitter.com, you have a desktop client that reads it out for you. You can send updates, receive updates, messages, whatever, all on your desktop. Yammer. Yammer is more of what are you working on. So if you have a small business company, you go into your hosting or, whatever your website's hosted in, and create an email address for your staff members or your workers, like, the @adrianstech.com email, whatever your address is. Set up those email accounts, put them on Yammer, and it's like a private Twitter for your company, so you can see what your members are working on. Get an admin panel. It's really cool. Check out yammer.com. And lastly, you want to talk real quick about RSS. Really simple syndication. It's a little icon you see, the little orange icon in the address bar when you go to sites usually. If you can, RSS, always have RSS feeds, readers, whatever, available to your readers. That way they can get content when it's pushed out, when it's, it's easy for them to access. And, really, if you can, just put out your social networking RSS, like if you have like a Twitter stream, you can put that on the left side of your blog, just so your readers get constant updates. It's, it's a better feeling of that they're, that they're reading content that's, regularly coming out, and they're not waiting every 2 months for something to come out. Maybe they're following you on Twitter and you never tweet. Maybe your last tweet was like 3 months ago. It's really good to keep them on a updated scale. So RSS, another way of really doing that, of course. Just like your YouTube subscribers, that's a type of RSS. They're getting content as it's pushed out. So make RSS really available to your viewers and community. So yeah, guys, those are a lot of tips. Hope that helps. I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to check out the site at adrianstech.com, techgeek.com, and weurl.com. Until then, guys, email all questions, concerns, everything else to adrianstech@gmail.com. Catch you guys later.